Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here checking out Still Time. It is a platformer by a guy whose name I forget, now I remember, Alan Zucconi. And every time I see his name, I just think Alan Zucchini, so I apologize for that. So, this is a Unity-produced game. If that doesn't send chills down your spine, I don't know what will. But let's just get into it, shall we? The game is a relatively linear puzzle platformer based around time, as you could probably tell by the name. And the game is separated into multiple different levels, and you use these levels to brush up on your time manipulation skills, shall we say. So, I'm going to go back to around Test Chamber 5. I think that'll do the trick to begin with. You'll be able to see a little bit of the game's story, quote-unquote, and you'll be able to see how the game looks and plays. Not for very long, though, and we'll get onto why that is shortly. So, the game's controls are very simple. You move with the analog stick, you use the L button to reverse time, and you also apparently get the ability to press the R button to fast forward time and triangle to stop time, but I haven't gone that far in the game yet, and you're about to understand why. Splat. The story is pretty simple. You wake up with no memories, and you have a bunch of people around you who all look like you, probably are you, from different timelines, and they're all trying to... what's the word? Well, they're all trying to do something, I guess. I don't really know the motivations of everyone yet. I've only been playing the game for about an hour, so here you can see how rewinding time works, and you can also press square to go back to before your death, which is actually not something that's come into use very often. So yeah, you can see already that the game moves anywhere between normal speed and the speed of a slug. It's kind of really, really badly optimized. No, it's just really badly optimized. So, this game has some absolutely massive problems. And the big one is that the game's frame rate is absolutely terrible. It can go down into the single digits without any sort of rhyme or reason whatsoever. There is something that helps, that is holding the R button at specific times, and it'll zoom out like this, which is weird because the R button should be used for moving forward through time, so actually using it like this does help with the frame rate a bit. But anyway, so I just died. So the trick is going to have to be... using our time rewinding powers to get us through this. Now, you do have to get all your clones through this alive, so you do need to work very hard on this. So basically, here's the trick I'm going to do. I'm going to rewind the time as much as possible. I'm going to go through the door, and I'm going to hope all my guys live through this. Yep, they all lived. So, since they all lived, we get to move on. If you lose any one of those dudes, obviously you will die along with them and you have to repeat the puzzle. And here's another puzzle related to switches. So I'm going to have to come over here, stand here, and hold this button for a few seconds so that when I do eventually decide to send someone over there, they will have the time to get through. This whole time rewinding mechanic is really neat. However, the massive problem with it is that it makes the game's performance unbearable at times. I actually have a video that I have recorded of me basically playing this game and recording what was basically the input lag from the game slowing down so much. And I'm going to put that footage right up around here in the top right corner. You can see that the performance in the game is so bad that I'm able to move the analog stick and the jump button at the same time. And it takes almost a second for the game to recognize that I've pushed a button and actually let me jump. It also makes the movement really fucking wonky. And it doesn't look too bad right now, but once you've played about 10 minutes of this game, it goes downhill fast. Like there's some sort of memory cleaning that it isn't doing automatically that's causing the entire game to throw a shit fit. Like you can see as you come back to this little menu here, this comes up a lot. But when you come back to this menu, the game's frame rate will slow down massively, just out of nowhere for no rhyme or reason. At this menu, it's really odd. And I'm not entirely sure why it's like this, but it's like this. I'm actually starting to feel the input lag right now. It seriously takes about half a second for the game to recognize that I pressed anything. Alright, so the trick is... I fucked it up, hang on. Easier to just restart the puzzle from the pause menu. So... I don't even think you really need the time power for this. You just need to be pretty decent with your platforming skills. So, I'll just push it out a little bit more to the left. Now hop on this at the switch. Now I jump for it. And I made it on top. See, I didn't even need my time for this one. The game does tell you that sometimes time isn't needed to fix a problem, but... You know, it just seems kind of weird that you've got a game with bloody time rewinding and you gotta make puzzles that are not designed around time rewinding. Alright, so it's a pretty simple puzzle here. Just need to push that on, hit the lever. Go and push this on here. Rewind time. So that I can come down here. Right, I'm an idiot. Hang on. I have actually done this puzzle before. There we go. That should do it. Nope, that's not going to do it. I have done this puzzle, damn it. Alright. So I push this over here. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I want to hit the lever. Then I want to let it get up to the top. Then I want to hold it for a bit. Then I want to pull this back down. Now I want to rewind time so that I can get on the elevator with the block itself. Now when the lever goes up, I go up with it. You can even see up in the top there, the little timeline has all your button presses, which is actually kind of neat. But anyway, there we go. The puzzles are actually kind of neat when they do work around the time rewind stuff. But it's all pretty basic and simple and fairly obvious. Yeah, there's some slowdown for you. Like, look how slowly those sparks fly off that. Like, look how slow the screen updates as I'm moving left to right. This becomes common later on. This becomes amazingly common. Also, it took me a while to figure out I can't climb this very obviously placed ladder. I have to drop down here. And then the frame rate recovers, and then it just slows right the hell down again. They must be using some sort of really expensive transforming graphic technique that makes the game run slower. But anyway. So, you've seen a couple of the puzzles. There's really not that much else to it. You can use the time things out here as soon as panels like this get activated. But seriously, it's a very linear experience, and the story's kind of obvious. The bad guy will probably turn out to be the good guy. The good guy will probably turn out to be the bad guy. And of course, it's got amnesia in it. So, you know, a bit of a trope in and of itself. My original plan, however, was to play a little bit further through this game. However, due to the game's unusual game design, let me put it that way. Due to the game's unusual game design, I wasn't able to go much, well, not so much unusual game design, but I imagine it was more of a bug. But there is something that's actually preventing me from continuing on through the actual game. But anyway, since I can rewind time here, you know, I can move out here, and if I just fight my own self for a while, which is kind of neat, it'll just stop caring. I can keep pushing this. And then I can bring it through here. The frame rate goes to hell again. But yeah, I don't care about the rest. So, if we go back to the menu, hopefully it'll show the menu actually having a fit. The only way to fix this, by the way, this horrible lag, is to quit the game and come back in, and even that'll only work another 10 minutes. So you really can't rely on that to fix the game's unbelievable level of performance issues. But Let me show you the reason why I couldn't proceed much further in this game than the first hour. I was thinking it crashed there for a second, but anyway, this is a cutscene. This cutscene is not a very special cutscene. There's me on the left side there now. As you can see, I literally have so much trouble with the controls being behind me that I had trouble walking inside that door. Yeah, there's a cutscene. Also, by the way, the sound gets very crackly when the performance goes bad, which is quite annoying, I've got to say. I don't know if it's actually coming through here because I didn't bother to put my headphones in, but the sound just goes to hell after a few minutes. For whatever reason. But anyway, that was supposed to be a cutscene, but it's very clearly bugged due to... What? Oh, no, we're back. So, where do you think I ended up? Did you think down here? Because this is where I ended up. Every time I've tried to get through this cutscene here, I have ended up down here very clearly outside of the boundaries of the room for no reason whatsoever. I can jump and I can move inside a tiny little bit of thing, but that's it. This is literally all I can do. I can't climb a ladder. I can't go down. Funnily enough, the game's performance has actually picked up again. But I can't do anything. This has happened every time I've gone into this cutscene. And before you ask, am I using the patched version of the game? Yes, I am. Or at least slightly patched, apparently. But it's very clear that whoever made this didn't actually go through and play the game on a retail Vita to make sure that it worked properly. Because not only is the game's input lag absolutely horrendous, but I am literally incapable of finishing it. And I do not know how this happened. I have to... I mean, I literally can't tell you anything else about the game because I can't progress further than the first hour. So, I don't know what that tells you. I hope it's giving you a very loud red flag not to buy this game until it's actually patched. But this is horrendous. I'm amazed this made it through quality assurance. I really am. I have literally nothing else to say, so I guess it's time to end this video here. This has been Blue Maxima. I'll see you all next time.